Is Wait a minute.
Just like
Is
that.
that is that is that my friend Becca Dukes?
Yeah, it's me.
I don't think I don't think I saved the right image on the platforms because it's showing last week's image and not today's image. And
Corresponding. You
what's
must have
that?
hit your head. You must have hit your head or something, because you like don't normally do stuff like that.
Oh, I hit my head. That is so appropriate. Thank you. But yes, welcome everyone who is tuned in with us. I know I didn't send out any emails or let anyone know because this is not a normal Pharmacist Ben's Bites. Pharmacist Ben is out on assignment today. He is traveling, and we will have a Pharmacist Ben's Bites tomorrow evening. I think the earliest we can do it is 6 Mountain Time.
So
So
that's
it will.
8
So that's
Eastern.
eight. That's 8 Eastern. So tomorrow night will be Pharmacist Ben's Bites, where Pharmacist Ben will be discussing pressing topics with us all like he normally does. However, tonight I wanted to just share with you folks a bit about what we do here as distributors in the Youngevity family. And I had to bring in the queen of all media, Becca Dukes, who has been an inspiration and a mentor and a good friend. And I just had to bring her on so that she could uh, discuss with me the benefits of being someone who promotes the longevity business, as my good friend pharmacist Ben is traveling, as I mentioned. So, Becca Dukes, could you briefly, while I do some of the back end stuff, talk to the folks a bit about who you are and your journey, or whatever you'd like to share?
Well, you said this is going to be like the day in the life of a longevity distributor, and I'll tell you what, AJ, every day has been so different in the last 3, 4 years, especially this last year and a half, that I am so thankful that I have this business because I can adjust my business to my lifestyle. So that's one thing that I absolutely love about being my own boss, having my own coaching business where I can then use my time that I have and not forgo having the time with my family whenever or wherever that need may be. So that's one of the biggest things that I absolutely appreciate about having my own business and having, well, I've had many businesses, but to have a business where I absolutely believed in the product because of what they did for myself and members of my family physically within our own health and wellness has been the biggest driver of keeping me going. There's so many times that you'll get all excited in the beginning and then things just aren't rolling and then they kind of lose that gas. You lose that energy and excitement. But with this, it's like I kept getting better and better and I kept seeing people in my family getting physically better and being able to share this with others, and they then have their own results, positive results, and sharing with others and just building just through word of mouth was a big one. And then when we got onto social media and being able to share the message even farther, it's just been absolutely fantastic, AJ. I mean, I I'm computer literate. Not everybody is, but we have a lot of people that are not computer literate even making money doing this business, helping others. So even if somebody wants belly to belly and talking with people in person, or having it online, the business fits the lifestyle. So,
Okay, okay. I'm sorry. I gotta interrupt you because I know
of
you were
course,
going with and so was probably gonna leave somewhere else to kind of a conclusion. But I don't want you to conclude because you said a couple of things that I think are important. Number one, it is a business. And
mhm.
number one, we cannot make any claims about income or how much you're going to make, which is fantastic for this type of business because the reward is you get to help people. So, yeah, you want to make money, but do you feel fulfilled in what you're doing?
Yes, yes. And yes, the money is nice. And the more I do, the more I can make. But the more people I help, the better I feel. Because one, I feel great because of the products. And then to have others start feeling great makes me feel even better. More mentally and emotionally, because I know that I am contributing to other people in their lives and helping them have a better life. I absolutely love phone calls and text messages and, oh, I can I can feel my toes, or ah, we had one person, they started with black feet and their feet actually became flesh colored again and they could walk and feel their feet. I
Wait,
mean,
wait, wait.
crazy stuff like that.
Okay, I'm not going to mess with you tonight. I'll let you slide. All right,
Oh my
so
goodness, I wasn't
that
even
is
thinking
fantastic.
that.
And frozen or am I frozen? Are you frozen? Okay, you're still
I'm
fantastic.
still here.
But one thing I wanted to ask you about in your personal journey, because I want everybody to take a look at that head of hair that Becca Dukes has right there. Just take a close look. Can you? Am I?
Yeah. Um, so my hair used to be very thin
But
and lifeless. It had enough curl to be annoying, but I couldn't
and
really do
erection.
anything with it. And it's even fuller actually than what it shows with the virtual background. But um, I love having hair that feels alive, and that's all from the inside out, not from. I don't have any product on my hair. Just wash and go. So I love that. My skin looks younger. I feel younger. It's just crazy, AJ. I mean, I went
Well,
from
that's
being, go ahead.
you went from being
I think he might be having some connection issues. But in addition to having hair that was lifeless and thin and didn't look beautiful, I was about 270 pounds. Thankfully, I have lost 100 of that. And what? And
continue,
I'm no
Becca.
longer, and I'm no
Continue.
longer bedridden, which I had been bedridden from pain, on pharmaceuticals, and basically got out of bed to go to doctor's appointments, AJ. Not the lifestyle I wanted, and I had a toddler where my mama, God rest her soul, would come over and babysit us both, for a time when my now 14-year-old was, goodness, 10 years ago. He was 4 and 5 when I was bedridden. So it was, no, 3 and 4, because 10 years ago I found this business. 10 years and what, 6 months ago. So I'm super excited I did, and I'm continuing to grow, continuing to to feel my body changing. And the nice thing about what we've got is, as my needs change, we've got a solution for it. So I do have, yes, Bruce. I do use Youngevity's hair shampoo and conditioner. And hello, pharmacist Ben. Thanks for jumping on as he's coming on here with Ben on Be on the Bright Side. So fantastic. Love you, Ben. And he's on the East Coast
Absolutely.
with us at the moment, which is pretty cool.
I think he might be in the air. But
Oh.
Becca, and that is an inspirational story. And we all have our inspirational stories on this show. Everybody and their mother has heard my story already. Um, this whole journey of longevity is about helping people, right? So that's why we talk about our personal journeys, because it helped us. And
Mhm.
because it helped us, it's easy for us to have complete faith and belief in the product, because we don't have to guess. We've seen it in action. We know what pharmacist Ben has taught in his years of research. We know about Dr. Wallach's years of research. I was actually talking to a woman this weekend who was going into animal studies, and I mentioned Doc's book, Diseases of Exotic Animals, and she looked it up. She's just kind of like poo pooing what I was saying until she looked. And I mentioned it was in the Smithsonian, but whatever. Um, but we mention our experience and the foundation to lead up to the fact that it is a business that you can believe in and get behind. I call it the OG nutrition business because we get results where others are not able to. Can you talk a little bit about maybe your experience with other products
Other products as in other companies or other
or,
things?
or other nutritional supplements? Did you see the same results when you were dibbling dabbling and kind of um,
Mm,
piecemealing your nutrition?
I understand. So, I was really getting into health. I was an herbalist. I was really excited about what herbs did, but there were still some things that I hadn't figured out on my own. I was watching those doctors on TV, and they would recommend this product if you have these symptoms, and this product. And I got to where I had at least 50 different bottles of individual supplements that I was taking. And honestly, AJ, I didn't feel a single bit difference. No energy, no reduction in pain, nothing. I was still gaining weight. Um, no, I've tried other products, tried even, other, it's not even, it's just the cheap stuff of individual stuff, but the expensive stuff that we're supposed to take care of everything. And I didn't feel a single bit different.
Okay, then when you started taking longevity products, how long till you notice the difference?
Um,
Approximately.
well, when I very first started, I had body pain all over, and I had migraine headaches that I had been dealing with since I was 8. Within 2 weeks, I had gotten out of bed, was walking across the floor, and going towards the back door, which usually I would put my sunglasses on and my big brim hat because the sun just killed my head. And then I realized my head's not hurting. I did not have a migraine that day. A couple weeks later, I'm rolling myself out of bed. I can stand up on the floor and not hold anything. And it just kept getting better and better. I could go up and down stairs without my knees giving out on me, which I had so many times had fallen upstairs and downstairs. because my knees would give out. And,
So,
5 years, yes, I have gone down the stairs, but it's because I had stepped over a dog and missed a step. But I didn't
yeah,
break
we don't.
anything.
Yes.
I bounced, which we don't usually bounce as we
Hmm.
get older, right?
No, we don't bounce. And I was telling Becca earlier today that I flipped over my bike today, probably going 20 miles an hour. And I'm in one piece. And by the way, this is the shirt I had on, so it's not even a rip on the shirt. Or yeah, longevity had nothing to do with not being a rip on the shirt, but not being uh, incapacitated has, I think, something to do with longevity. That
Yeah.
having that bounce. But just real quick, just to recap my story that everyone's heard a billion times, I had a cracked hip, couldn't walk, walked around with three ace bandages tied around my waist, my back, up my leg. Uh, I had no circulation. That's how tight these ace bandages were tied. I walked around like this for 2 years, at least 2 years. Going to work on Monday with the ace bandages, Tuesday having to lay in bed. Luckily, I was a salesman, so I was able to, have a more of a flexible schedule. Wednesday, I'd try and go back out. Thursday, I'd have to rest. Friday, I'd try and go back out again. And this was me for years, laying in bed, screaming, landlords hating me. Hey, Wyoming Annie, landlords hating me because I was just in so much pain. I probably own, I'd taken enough Tylenol to own shares in the company. It was that bad. And I started taking the Youngevity products. I did not purchase Youngevity products because I thought they could help me. I purchased them because I wanted to sell the products. But since I couldn't go anywhere, I just started consuming the products. And within 10 days, I was playing basketball
Wow.
at 46, 47 years old on the court after not being able to really walk well. So, yeah, I'm here. You can't tell me that the stuff that I sell doesn't work. You take it or leave it.
Mhm.
Um, but this is why I do what I do. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm passionate about it, because I know it works, and I've uh, as a member of Becca's team, I've touched at least 500 lives personally, on the phone, helping people. Whereas I would never have had that reach without this lady that you see on the screen with me and our other host, pharmacist Ben Fuchs, and Dr. Wallach, and Youngevity as a whole. It's a really supportive community. Um, you know, and so a day in the life of being a distributor is that, yeah, Bruce, does that mean that my cracked hip is no longer broken? Um, you know, I can't, I don't know. I mean, I will say this to you: I no longer have pain. How about that? Um, this is the case, Bruce. I went to the doctor and I said, take an X-ray. I have a cracked hip. He said, if you had a cracked hip, you wouldn't be walking. I said, I'm only walking because I got three ace bandages tied up. And then he did the X-ray and he said, you got a cracked hip. We have to do surgery. And I'm like, I don't trust you. I'm out of here. I left, and I just proceeded for another year to be, in pain. And no, I ride a bike, I jump, I run, I could do whatever I want to do. I don't have that debilitating pain that I once had. So that's the best answer I can give. I cannot say uh, anything more than that legally. Is
And
that
he can,
right, Becca?
yeah, and he can drag me all over New York City, and I mean, we're keeping up with the best of them.
No, well, yeah, well, I would expect so. And pharmacist Ben mentions when nutrition gets into a deficient body, results are wick.
Quick. He
Does
corrected
he
it.
mean quick? Does he mean
Quick.
quick, or does he mean
Yeah.
wick?
Well,
Quick.
wickedly quick.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yes. Unbelievably quick is what pharmacist Ben has typed us. Yes, and that is the fact. The you know it's the example he always gives. When you're a dry sponge, you're able to absorb more water. And I, in fact, was a dry sponge. I had never even taken a probiotic in my life. So that was part of that. I just want to look at this image, Becca. Can you tell me? If you can see this image? I don't know if you can. Can
Yes,
you
I
tell
can.
me a little bit about what you see on the bottom? We talk about our why, the root versus the fruit axiom.
Hmm.
And then what Ben talks about is supersaturation with the 90 essential nutrients. So we just kind of talked about the fact that if your body is deficient, you can absorb and have results from this absorption quicker. And we all know that our tangy tangerine and our other nutrients are many times more than the recommended daily allowances that are set by our government agencies. And that is because we know that we don't want to just live, we don't just want to survive, we want to thrive. And thriving requires a lot more nutrition than the RDA. Would you agree with that, Becca?
100%. Absolutely. Um, because I was going by that those RDAs, making sure that I was trying to get 100 on everything, and I wasn't even surviving, let alone thriving. So,
So,
absolutely. And as Ben says, I mean, the 90 essential nutrients, they are Youngevity's secret weapon. It's the foundation.
so when we talk about becoming a distributor, we talk about uh, first of all, it's something where you have to have the confidence. I have utmost confidence in it because it's changed my life. I can imagine that Becca has the confidence in it because it changed her life.
Yes.
I know some people who weren't debilitated and started using the products and use them on a consistent basis. I'm thinking of Phyllis and Andy, who have built a tremendous longevity business, but never really experienced any physical hardship initially when they started the products. But I don't know what ages they are, but they look fantastic and have been using the product for how many years? 20 years? 30 years? How long?
About 30, because they've been with Doc from the beginning. And Youngevity turns 30 next year. And they were with Doc even before it became Youngevity, when it was still American Longevity. So they've been with Doc over 30 years.
So, Phyllis and Andy, as an example, have been using the products for over 30 years. They didn't have any real physical ailments, and they still don't have any physical ailments. So, an ounce of prevention beats a pound of cure every single time. And uh, again, so now here you can utilize all the perks of billionaires. Becca, you want to talk a little bit about when Doc used to talk about all the time the perks of billionaires, and even Paul and Cheryl talk about these perks. What do you think that means?
Are you referring to billionaires being able to eat the best foods possible and still dying younger than the couch potato?
Well, that is one aspect of it. I think, when you own your own business, though, and even if you have a 9 to 5 job, but now that you own a business, there are certain things that you can write off that folks who do not own a business can't write off. What do you think about that?
Well, absolutely. I mean, business expenses. We're on the phone. Our phone is a business expense. We can write it off. We have a section of our homes that we use as our office. We can use that section of our home as a write off for the cost, whether it's the rent or the mortgage, and then include the insurance in there and travel, including
Right? And we're
this gas.
and
We
we're not gonna give tax advice here, but there are perks. Would you agree with that statement?
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We become business owners and have the tax write-offs just as the rest.
Hmm. And then, education wise, let's say I know nothing about nutrition, but I wanted to learn how to help other people. What do you think a mechanism might be that the longevity community has available to teach people what are some of the tools and things that we have available? And longevity is the broader sense, but then particular benefit of being on our teams. What do you think some of those things might be?
Well, he's in the air right now, but Pharmacist Ben is the most down-to-earth person that makes even the most difficult issues easy to understand. So we've got Pharmacist Ben that is always teaching, and the two of you have put together Pharmacist Ben's Academy, which you can get to at Pharmacist Ben's Academy. Don't forget that S at Ben's Academy.com. That is an amazing place to learn. Can I mention my other favorite one?
I'm asking for all of the places that the longevity community has for people to learn.
Okay, we have Zooms that go on with the different leaders within the company, and even the Daily with Doc and Becca show, where we bring on different professionals in the health and wellness, where we're talking about nutrition and other modalities. That's continually bringing more and more awareness to what we can do on our own. We have the Institute of Holistic Health that was put together based on Dr. Wallach's teachings and is headed by two of the leaders within the Youngevity company, including Cheryl Morley, who was one of the very first Youngevity distributors and Dr. Wallach's first assistant. Cheryl is just absolutely fantastic. Paul is fantastic. He's a strategy guy and has leadership and brings in not just the teaching about health and wellness, but also about the leadership and how to run a business. So I love the Institute of Holistic Health and their Certified Holistic Health Coach course. That's available
How would you get there?
by going to coach.dailywithdoc.com right there at the bottom. Coach.dailywithdoc.com will take you right to the information page about the Certified Holistic Health Coach course. And you want to do it right now because there's a special going on, 50% off. If you click on enrollment, you'll see original price. Can I not say that?
You can say it, but they got to call to get that number.
They
They
do.
can't get the code
They do have
without
to
calling
call
to
to get
get
the
the code.
code. Yes, they do. But it's $4.99 regular price. And there's a payment plan. So you go 50% off that, $250 and a payment plan. There you go. But please give us a call at 855-949-3377 to get that promo discount code. And see, Youngevity itself, they have a kickoff, a monthly kickoff meeting around the first Monday of every month. And then they have a call to action on around the 15th of the month. Both are additional learning experiences where they're teaching more about the products and things that are going on with the
Okay,
longevity. Just
but what about what you do on Tuesdays?
we have our team trainings where we go deeper into just how to do the ins and outs of business as a longevity distributor, working with people, the skills, and we also have the holistic hustle for those that want to learn how to do more of a digital presence in their business. So, I mean, if anybody on our team says I don't get help, they're just not plugged in.
They don't say that on our team. Okay.
They don't.
So,
If they were to.
okay. So I want you, let's try and address Wyoming Annie's question here. My problem is no one I talk to wants to change. They think I'm nuts and they love their doctors, even though they see how great I'm doing compared to their health. What say you? I have an answer for Wyoming Annie, but what do you think about who is very plugged in? She is dedicated and
Mhm.
plugged in and doing better. What do probably could do even better? And I'm sure she'd agree with that. But what do you think she could do? What do you do about people who don't want to change?
Well, you love them where they're at, and eventually they get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You can just continue to check in on them and say, hey, when you're tired of feeling this way, please let me know. Because I've got some things that could work for you, like they have me. So I know your answer is going to be different, but that's my response that I have used with people. And I've had even family members saying, okay, what do you got? Because this other stuff is not working.
Eventually, yes, my answer is eventually they see that what they're doing is not working. As they waste away money wise and the health deteriorates, they wind up then making a click somewhere in their mind that nutrition's important, and then they want to go elsewhere and try and find nutrition, and they'll try some moringa, and they'll try
CMOS.
you know, some sea moss, or they'll go and get something else and not understand that they need all 90
Mm-hmm.
in heavy quantities, formulated in the right ratios for your body to absorb properly and utilize.
Yes.
At some point, they may listen. If they don't, love them, as Becca said, and do your best to do so. But there are, Wyoming Annie, there are millions of people who need to hear this message. Is not just your immediate circle. And I understand that you may not have the reach to reach everyone, but something as simple as uh, going to your local library, putting up a flyer, calling everyone in your phone book that you haven't spoken to in 20 years, and letting them know what you're doing. I don't know, but I would not feel ashamed to reach out to any and everyone, because what you have, they need. Every human being needs 90 essential nutrients for optimal health, and if you don't have them, essential meaning if you don't have them, you will deteriorate and eventually die.
That is true. Now, AJ, I love this comment that she put. Said, Doc said, give me 90 days. It took me 60 days when I realized I felt better. Youngevity and changed the diet, changed my life. After 6 years, I'm doing so much better than all my friends. And that's the way it is, you know, with the coaching program, we do have a health evaluation to help monitor progress. But there are times where we realize, oh, I'm not experiencing this, and I'm not experiencing this, and I'm not experiencing this anymore. And realize that you're not feeling like you did. Not realizing how bad you actually felt because you feel so good now. So we kind of forget where we were. And that's okay because it keeps getting better and better.
Well, I just want to invite everyone to reach out to us at 855-949-3377. If you would like to become a leader yourselves, mention that you saw this show and mention that you would like to join our 90 for Life crusade. You would like to become a distributor. You would like to help others in your sphere of influence. I want to show something, Becca. We're going to be off the screen for about 5 to 7 minutes. This is a world premiere of this video, and I hope it is beneficial.
Look at the modern American life cycle. Most people spend their prime years trading hours for a capped salary in a corporate cubicle, only to spend their later years handing those earnings over to a medical complex to manage their declining health. You outsource your financial survival to an employer and your biological survival to an institution. Mainstream medical protocols prioritize symptom management. If you have high blood pressure, you receive a prescription to artificially lower it. This leaves the root cause, the cellular starvation and systemic toxicity creating that pressure, unaddressed, which maintains a state of perpetual dependency on a refill. Meanwhile, the traditional W-2 employment model traps you in a parallel cycle. You trade your time for a paycheck. When you stop working, the money stops flowing. There is no compounding leverage and no underlying asset being built for your family. You cannot claim true independence if a corporation dictates your economic output and a hospital dictates your biological function. Dr. Joel Wallach recognized this trap decades ago. After analyzing thousands of autopsies, he formulated a thesis. Chronic disease is the mathematical result of a systemic nutritional deficiency. If a body lacks the basic raw materials to rebuild itself, it breaks down. Wallach knew that traditional medical gatekeepers had zero financial incentive to promote foundational nutrition over symptom-managing pharmaceuticals. He also knew that placing his formulas on retail shelves next to thousands of inferior supplements would dilute the message. To bypass the hostile medical establishment, he needed a grassroots army. He realized the only way to effectively distribute clinical-grade nutrition was through educated individuals who could sit at a kitchen table, explain human biochemistry, and teach their communities how to actually heal. This geometric diagram represents the triangle of disease, dictating that chronic bodily breakdown originates from systemic failures in three primary areas. The first point is the digestive system. Consuming processed foods and bad fats tears microscopic holes in the intestinal lining. This leaky gut allows undigested food particles and bacterial toxins to pour directly into the bloodstream. The second point is the blood sugar system. Refined carbohydrates act as a caustic toxin, turning blood into a thick, sticky sludge that struggles to circulate. Cells suffocate, and the heart cranks up pressure to push this dirty blood through vessels. The third point is the adrenal thyroid complex, the body's master regulatory hub. Constant physical inflammation and psychological stress lock the body in an emergency state. Cortisol floods the system, shutting down digestion and energy production, accelerating the collapse of the other 2 points. To address this, distributors guide clients through a process of saturation. The Healthy Start Pack provides plant-derived minerals that act as natural chelating agents, pulling toxins out of the dirty blood. Simultaneously, essential fatty acids rebuild the SAT-based cell membranes to restore circulation, while collagen peptides provide the raw structural proteins needed to patch the intestinal wall. Teaching the biochemistry of this saturation process is the mandatory first step toward accessing the financial benefits of the business. Once the physical operation is understood, the financial architecture opens up. Entering the business scales from a basic, low-cost distributor registration all the way up to a mega CEO pack, which immediately qualifies you for stock options, revenue sharing, and car bonuses. To stay active and collect commission checks, distributors must be a product of the product. This means maintaining a qualifying monthly personal order of the nutrition they are actively consuming to stay healthy. This personal health requirement transforms your household into a legitimate business entity. This 30-day timeline graph illustrates strategic ordering mechanics. Because Youngevity operates on strict bonus windows, upline mentors teach you exactly when to process personal volume. Hitting the right inputs on the right days triggers distinct financial thresholds on the chart, multiplying your monthly commission payout. The architecture of this system takes the financial drain of biological maintenance and transforms it into a tax-advantaged economic engine. If you reach the top of the corporate ladder in a standard W-2 job, your influence, your title, and your income evaporate the day you retire or pass away. The company simply replaces you. A direct sales network, however, compounds over a lifetime. Because the monthly orders of your downline generate a continuous stream of residual income, your Youngevity business becomes a legally recognized, willable asset. The income you build by teaching your community how to heal can be transferred directly to your children and grandchildren. This is what true autonomy looks like. By mastering human biochemistry and leveraging the tax structures of a home-based business, you pull yourself out of the corporate dependency loop. You secure your own physical health, and you build a generational financial fortress that outlasts you.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
That's
Now,
something.
some of the words didn't match the images, but but we can work on that. We can work on that. But did you get the gist? It was that kind of.
Yeah, that residual income um, is fantastic. It's, it continues to build. And even in the moments where I wasn't able to physically work my business, I still had residual income coming in. So I don't want to be a 9 to 5er ever again, or even a third shifter, because I've done that too. I love being able to work from wherever it is that I want to live. And even if I'm taking a 4-month road trip, as long as I got my computer and internet, I can still do what I do. It's fantastic.
I know people in longevity who do this from their RV.
Yes.
Not and not because they have to be in the RV, because they want to see the country
Mm-hmm.
and live free. And we have people who, if the Armageddon comes, I know who to call. I mean, it's just we have all types in this company. It's just like we have a real broad, diverse set of folks who are all about health freedom
Mm-hmm.
and lifestyle freedom, and that is what we have available. And you need to take a look. If you run a podcast, if you're on the radio, you have a TV show, and you need an extra stream of income, this is where to be. If you're a grandma who just has some kids, grandkids to hang out with, this is where you need to be. You need to join our tribe, join our community, find your niche, and flourish.
Yeah.
What say you to that?
Well, and that's it. You find your niche, your niche, whatever, however you want to say that, is because there's so many different ways to do this business. where you can even focus on just one product, the 90 essential nutrients. Or if you're, if you have a heart for young families, then products that help support young families. If you have a heart for athletes and kids in sports, we have products that focus on supporting their bodies to do what the body was designed to do, even through all that strenuous activities that they are going through. Or if you want to focus on pets, we even have a pet line that helps your pet get the nutrition that it needs. So you pick your passion and we help you go for it. We're here all the way.
Listen, folks, tomorrow night you can enjoy Pharmacist Ben talking about nutrition and the benefits thereof. Tonight, we're sorry, but we really need to tell you that you could be missing the greatest opportunity that's come your way. And that is the ability to join a solid company with a solid mission who are helping millions of people annually with their health around the world. This could be you. You could do it from any place in the world. It's a fantastic opportunity. Take advantage. Join the club. Give us a call, 855-949-3377, or email us at questions@dailywithdoc.com. You need to reach out. Reach out to us. Let us be a small inspiration to you to do really big things for your community and the greater world. And that's about all I have to say about that topic, Becca. What do you think?
Well, I just want to invite people to join our community, because we are truly a community, a family that work together. There's some companies out there where you sign up and you're on your own. Well, that's not how it is with us. We're here to help every step of the way. If it's a 3-way call, if it's just one-on-one coaching, we are here for you. And what Bruce says, hey, Becca, now you're in the no sleep club with AJ and Ben. LOL. Yes, it is past my bedtime, Bruce. Yes, it is. Not really, but we are here for the team. And thank you, Donna. Yes, you're amazing. Another part of our team where we just help people help others. And for you too, wellness. Love you, dear. Love you too. Out in California. So AJ, I think we have the best team. I mean, and Pharmacist Ben agrees with me. We absolutely do.
Absolutely. We are very fortunate to have someone like you who worked directly with Dr. Wallach for so long, and for some stroke of luck, got Pharmacist Ben to like you and have him support us the way he does. We are really in the catbird seat, and I hope that all of you take advantage of that, because we are extending this offer to you to do so. And I don't really, we could probably drive through the country and stop at different distributors' homes and say hi. And I think that you'd be welcome. I'm hoping I'd be welcome, but I'm pretty sure you'd be welcome at most of the folks' houses. They know my appetite, so they may kind of.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing, AJ. So
You're gonna be.
I'm super excited. Going to be stopping other side of Pennsylvania and Michigan and Iowa and Washington, and then all the way down the coast, into Arizona and across to Texas. I'm just looking forward to a great road trip, visiting family, both chosen and blood. And if you want to be something greater than yourself, have a purpose that goes beyond just you and helping others, this is the place to be.
Absolutely is. Fantastic. Becca, thank you for joining me tonight. I know this
Thank you.
is especially last minute. I really appreciate all you've done for me and what you continue to do for tons of other people. And you're really, it's amazing to see how you're able to pull everyone and everything together. And I really appreciate you.
Well, it's my honor and privilege, AJ. I'm so glad you found us and became part of the team as well. You are a gem.
All right, folks. So enough of the lovey-dovey. We're going to end this. I'm going to play that video again. I hope that you get something out of it. And do reach out to us, 855-949-3377. Buenas noches.
Look at the modern American life cycle. Most people spend their prime years trading hours for a capped salary in a corporate cubicle, only to spend their later years handing those earnings over to a medical complex to manage their declining health. You outsource your financial survival to an employer and your biological survival to an institution. Mainstream medical protocols prioritize symptom management. If you have high blood pressure, you receive a prescription to artificially lower it. This leaves the root cause, the cellular starvation and systemic toxicity creating that pressure, unaddressed, which maintains a state of perpetual dependency on a refill. Meanwhile, the traditional W-2 employment model traps you in a parallel cycle. You trade your time for a paycheck. When you stop working, the money stops flowing. There is no compounding leverage and no underlying asset being built for your family. You cannot claim true independence if a corporation dictates your economic output and a hospital dictates your biological function. Dr. Joel Wallach recognized this trap decades ago. After analyzing thousands of autopsies, he formulated a thesis. Chronic disease is the mathematical result of a systemic nutritional deficiency. If a body lacks the basic raw materials to rebuild itself, it breaks down. Wallach knew that traditional medical gatekeepers had zero financial incentive to promote foundational nutrition over symptom-managing pharmaceuticals. He also knew that placing his formulas on retail shelves next to thousands of inferior supplements would dilute the message. To bypass the hostile medical establishment, he needed a grassroots army. He realized the only way to effectively distribute clinical-grade nutrition was through educated individuals who could sit at a kitchen table, explain human biochemistry, and teach their communities how to actually heal. This geometric diagram represents the triangle of disease, dictating that chronic bodily breakdown originates from systemic failures in three primary areas. The first point is the digestive system. Consuming processed foods and bad fats tears microscopic holes in the intestinal lining. This leaky gut allows undigested food particles and bacterial toxins to pour directly into the bloodstream. The second point is the blood sugar system. Refined carbohydrates act as a caustic toxin, turning blood into a thick, sticky sludge that struggles to circulate. Cells suffocate, and the heart cranks up pressure to push this dirty blood through vessels. The third point is the adrenal thyroid complex, the body's master regulatory hub. Constant physical inflammation and psychological stress lock the body in an emergency state. Cortisol floods the system, shutting down digestion and energy production, accelerating the collapse of the other 2 points. To address this, distributors guide clients through a process of saturation. The Healthy Start Pack provides plant-derived minerals that act as natural chelating agents, pulling toxins out of the dirty blood. Simultaneously, essential fatty acids rebuild the SAT-based cell membranes to restore circulation, while collagen peptides provide the raw structural proteins needed to patch the intestinal wall. Teaching the biochemistry of this saturation process is the mandatory first step toward accessing the financial benefits of the business. Once the physical operation is understood, the financial architecture opens up. Entering the business scales from a basic, low-cost distributor registration all the way up to a mega CEO pack, which immediately qualifies you for stock options, revenue sharing, and car bonuses. To stay active and collect commission checks, distributors must be a product of the product. This means maintaining a qualifying monthly personal order of the nutrition they are actively consuming to stay healthy. This personal health requirement transforms your household into a legitimate business entity. This 30-day timeline graph illustrates strategic ordering mechanics. Because Youngevity operates on strict bonus windows, upline mentors teach you exactly when to process personal volume. Hitting the right inputs on the right days triggers distinct financial thresholds on the chart, multiplying your monthly commission payout. The architecture of this system takes the financial drain of biological maintenance and transforms it into a tax-advantaged economic engine. If you reach the top of the corporate ladder in a standard W-2 job, your influence, your title, and your income evaporate the day you retire or pass away. The company simply replaces you. A direct sales network, however, compounds over a lifetime. Because the monthly orders of your downline generate a continuous stream of residual income, your Youngevity business becomes a legally recognized, willable asset. The income you build by teaching your community how to heal can be transferred directly to your children and grandchildren. This is what true autonomy looks like. By mastering human biochemistry and leveraging the tax structures of a home-based business, you pull yourself out of the corporate dependency loop. You secure your own physical health, and you build a generational financial fortress that outlasts you.
All right, folks. Have a good night.